Hey guys, TikTok Sully here, or just Sully, back with another video, and welcome to another episode of What Happened in Fashion and Street Style. Today we'll be looking at what happened in September, and as always, highlighting the noteworthy moments and releases that took place, so get comfortable and let's see what went down. I hope you guys are enjoying this series of What Happened in Fashion, as I do enjoy keeping you guys informed, and I do enjoy making these videos, so hopefully you are. But let's get straight into this one, and hope you guys enjoy. Kicking off this episode, we can start with Celine, as at the beginning of the month, the brand took to Instagram to debut their new logo change, which can be accredited to their new creative director, Hedi Slimane. As you may know, Hedi and Celine decided to remove the recognizable accent on the logo and make it simply Celine, and this was done in order to make the logo resemble its earlier days where the accent wasn't used as often. Of course, this annoyed a lot of Celine fans, and there has been a few logo changes in recent times, so this was just another to add to that list, and I actually do want to cover these recent logo changes in more detail, so I'll be making a separate video on that and talking about the Celine logo change in more detail as well. But that launches us into the next highlight of the month, which was Fashion Week. As in September, the Women's Spring Summer 19 shows commenced by kicking off in New York and Prague, followed by London Fashion Week, where Riccardo Tisci showed his first collection for Burberry. Riccardo showed both his men's and women's Spring Summer collections during this show, as Burberry is one of a handful of brands that have recently merged their collections into one show as opposed to two, and the collection was readily available to purchase via Instagram, as well as the 24-hour pop-up at the London store right as the show ended. The fashion calendar then transitioned over to Milan Fashion Week, where heritage sportswear brand Fila showed on the runway, and this was surprising seeing as Fila has never been perceived as a runway brand, but with the recent growth of sportswear, this seemed to be the inevitable next step for a brand in its category. And after Milan Fashion Week was over, we moved into Paris Fashion Week, where more women's shows took place, and two shows I'm highlighting were the Balenciaga and Celine runways. Both brands took a liberal approach and followed in the footsteps of Burberry to show both their men's and women's collections, and we got to see Demna's collection for Balenciaga, which features some clip art graphics as well as some more formal looks, and this was followed by Hedi's first collection for Celine, which was anticipated on by fans to see which direction it was going in, especially after he had made such a drastic change as previously mentioned. The Celine show was everything we would expect from Hedi, whilst nothing we would expect from Celine, so it was definitely a shake-up for the brand as he presented his signature black and white aesthetic, which did produce a mix of emotions from consumers. Nevertheless, I think it's still early days for the brand, and I feel we should give him at least two more shows before giving our final verdict on his position, and all we can do is wait and see what else he has in store. Jumping from Fashion Week now, we move to another interesting honour, being the Business of Fashion's 500 list. The Business of Fashion's 500 is an annual list that the media company create by rounding up the top 500 power players in current fashion, and since its inception back in 2013, it's become more and more of an accolade, and it gives a good insight into individuals who are currently directing fashion. To see the full list, check out the description, as it includes some cultural favourites such as A$AP Rocky and Virgil Abloh. Fear of God released their 6th collection lookbook in September, which featured 100 images and was also accompanied by a short film. And the 6th collection took a diverging route from Jerry's past collections, as it featured a blend of calming colours such as greys and creams whilst maintaining a workwear aesthetic. And the short film also gave us a first look at his sneaker collaboration with Nike, which will complement the collection upon its release. Select pieces already began rolling out via pre-order, and you can keep up with the collection as it drops through Jerry Lorenzo's Instagram. Helmut Lang launched a new denim line entitled Helmut Lang Jeans, which features a variety of styles equally cut for both men and women to further blur the lines between the two sexes, and is due to drop in October. And Prada relaunched the iconic Linea Rossa line, otherwise known as Prada Sport. This is the highlight mention of the month, as the Linea Rossa line is very iconic for the Prada brand, and this announcement was very exciting and only further pushed the brand into becoming 2018's brand of the year. The Linea Rossa line features a recognizable red stripe with the Prada lettering outlined in it, and the first drop for the Diffusion features some fluorescent colours as well as some monotone colours on a variety of pieces, which are finished off with Prada's traditional nylon fabric. The pieces are now available via Prada's web store. Supreme and Comme released some more pieces in their ongoing collaboration, and just like the last one, the brands reworked Supreme's box logo to make for a deconstructed take on the rectangle branding. This was one of my favourite Comme takes on the box logo, so I really liked it, but sadly I overslept on the release, so didn't even get a chance to attempt the stressful checkout. And another collaboration between a Cold War Samuel Ross and lifestyle brand Oakley also went down in September. This was more unexpected than Supreme's and Comme des Garçons collaboration due to Oakley being on a different side of the spectrum when it comes to fashion, but surprisingly, Samuel Ross did a great job in implementing his signature technical form on the brand's garments. I was also a fan of this collaboration, and I'm planning on picking up a piece from it too. It's still fully available if you were interested, and as always, links will be down below in the description. The city of Los Angeles made for some interesting news, as they voted to ban the sale of animal fur in their state after San Francisco Francisco and smaller surrounding states went on to do this earlier in the year, Los Angeles are planning to become the biggest state in America to not only ban the sale of animal fur but also the production of it. So this could see the future of fur being eliminated from fashion as a whole, especially since high profile brands such as Burberry also decided to stop the use of fur in September. Michael Kors purchased Versace for $2.1 billion in September as they attempt to become a conglomerate. After Michael Kors had previously bought Jimmy Choo for $900 million last year, it's now added Versace to the umbrella, and the brand is planning to open up a new parent brand called Capri Holdings, which will act as the parent company to the three brands, as well as a competitor to other fashion conglomerates such as LVMH and Kering, whom are currently dominating the market. Many people interpreted this as Michael Kors to be taking over creative control of the Versace brand, thus reducing the Versace name, but it's simply taking over as a parent company, and Donatello will remain at the helm and continue to design for the brand whilst he gets backing from the Michael Kors brand. Lil Wayne released his long-awaited Carter 5 album in September, and along with it came merchandise that was designed by 11 streetwear brands. Names such as Midnight Studios, Heron Preston and Cactus Plant Flea Market all produced their own designs for the artist and gave fans a chance to be a part of the project with some clean designs as opposed to the generic ones we often see with music merchandise. And to round up this month, we finish up on one last collaboration, this time between Ikea and Virgil Abloh. A few months back, this collaboration was teased and caused excitement for fans of the designer, and at the end of September, pieces finally released, including the rugs, which behaved as the sneakers of this collaboration in terms of the hype. This was only a teaser release as it was only available via a pop-up in Paris, so it hasn't officially released yet, and the rest of us will have a chance to grab it at the beginning of 2019 when it rolls out globally. Moving on to sneaker releases now, the first sneaker that kicked off the month of September was by BMX athlete Nigel Sylvester on the Air Jordan 1. This was more of a distressing BMX take on the sneaker, so its target market was more orientated towards that niche as opposed to simply streetwear. Coincidentally, another niche Jordan released in September, this time the Jordan 5, which was in collaboration with the football team PSG. So again, this had a specific target market it was aimed at, and much like the Nigel Sylvesters, also had a sellout. The Jordan 5 also had another rework on it, this time entitled The Fresh Prince, after being inspired by the hit TV show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. In the show, Will Smith was seen wearing the sneakers without the laces in them, so Nike went for a nostalgic retro and produced the sneakers in that exact format, i.e. missing the laces, and Skepta also released his third collaboration with Nike, this time entitled the Air Max Deluxe SK, which featured VHS static on its neoprene upper, as well as a date stamp of when he won his Movo Award for the That's Not Me video back in 2014. Moving away from Nike for a minute, A$AP Rocky released his much anticipated SRLo sneaker, which was in collaboration with Under Armour. The rapper and rising Under Armour brand hosted a pop-up shop in Rocky's hometown of Harlem on September 14th and released two colorways of the bulky shoe in its original black, white and blue color, as well as a fully blacked out version. The sneaker released in limited quantities of 250 pairs each and also retailed at $250. Of course, for the rest of the world to get their hands on them, you only really have the resale option as usual, and they're currently going for anywhere between $400 and $700 depending on the size, and maybe we'll see a worldwide release in the near future. Adidas and Y3 finally released another silhouette with its 4D sole, this time retailing at $600 or £450. It was the Y3 Runner 4D, which released in a black colorway. The Adidas brand also released another silhouette with a 4D sole, this time even more limited as it was a specialized collaboration with the UK sneaker store Foot Patrol, and saw the brand release the Futurecraft 4D in a green color, and another Adidas partner brand also dropped in September. This time it was Yeezy who re-released their 700 model in its OG grey colorway, and Yeezy also had another sneaker restock, this time in a more general release. It was the 350 V2s in a triple white colorway. This shoe re-released after years of talks on making the Yeezy a general release, and sure enough, Ye did it by releasing this time in its highest quantity yet and releasing over 500,000 to 1 million pairs, which is the quantity you often see when a shoe is a general release. I checked the Adidas website at about 1 PM when the drop went live, and sure enough, the majority of the sizes were still available, so this was definitely the most easiest Yeezy purchase so far. Getting onto a high-end sneaker now, which was pretty much the only one worth mentioning in September, it was Balenciaga's track sneaker, which released in 4 colorways. The sneaker had an initial exclusive release at the beginning of the month at Selfridges London, but by the end of the month it was available worldwide, and select sizes are still available over on Balenciaga's website. This can be considered to be the runner-up to the Triple S as the hype for that sneaker slowly dies down, which was something Demna must have anticipated with the release of this runner. Vans also attempted to produce a different silhouette to its staple old school and era sneaker, this time in executing a Varix WC model, which looks like the bulky skater shoe meeting the current bulky sneaker trend. And to round up this September month, we have a handful of more releases from Nike, as they never seem to slow down in releasing hype sneakers and leading the footwear market. The first of them was the Jordan 3 AWOC for women, which was in collaboration with Vogue and saw the Jordan 3 silhouette bedazzled. This followed with the Jordan 1, which released in a pack of 2 new colorways and had a fair amount of hype considering it wasn't a retro release, and this was the court purple and pine green colorways. The sportswear brand also collaborated with Acronym to bring a second edition of Presto Highs to the brand, and much like its first collaboration on this silhouette, they dropped 3 distinct colorways again, which this time features zebra-like and splatter prints on its cage and toe box. And the final sneaker for the month of September was another collaboration by Nike, this time with Undercover, as they redesigned the recent Element React model, and much like Acronym, they also produced some very bright colors, but this time in 4 variations. And that brings me to the end of this video and the end of this episode of what happened in fashion and street style for the month of September. Nike seemed to dominate the footwear market even more so in September, so we'll wait and see how they get on in October, and I'll be bringing you that episode when the month is over. Until then, if you want to catch up on the past episodes of what happened in fashion and street style, then you can check them out over here. And if you're new here and you're interested in fashion, then you should also subscribe by clicking down over there, as I have some more videos like this on the way, and I'll just allow you to stay up to date with the uploads. And if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to hit that like button, as it always helps and is much appreciated. And let me know down below if you guys were drawn towards any specific highlights or any specific releases, as I do like to hear your input. But that's all from me today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.